There are some really specific situations in real estate where it is super beneficial to have a bridge loan. And I'm going to go over some of the pros and cons today to let you know if it's a good product for you. Stay tuned.
You better get fired up.
All right. So imagine you want to purchase a home and you're going to put an offer in, but you also own a home. What do you do? It's a tough situation that a lot of people encounter. And it's usually a 5 to 10 minute conversation of me going through kind of all the different options, what fits you best. And it's different for different people. There's pros and cons to all of it. And if you go look, I've done probably 2, 3, 4 videos in the past talking about all the different things that you can do. But today we're going to talk about one specifically, and that's a bridge loan. Imagine yourself as a seller and you're excited to sell your house, and maybe you're going to go buy a house, or maybe you're going to move across the country, or maybe you got a new job or whatever it is, and you are excited to get that home sold, and you get an offer and your agent calls you and says, hey, I got an offer. Can we meet at 5 o'clock tonight? Absolutely, we can. And you are through the roof excited. You get on the phone and they tell you all these great things, and you're like, yes, 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 yes. And then you hear that it's contingent on sale. And you say, what does contingent on sale mean? Well, contingent on sale means that they have to sell their home first. Well, it's a lot of times, not all the time, in a different market that your agent may not know as well. If I get a Jacksonville offer, right, the buyer has to sell their home in Jacksonville. I don't know that market. I don't know if that home is overpriced, underpriced. I have no idea, right? If it's in Tampa, no clue. Now, if it's local here, I can do a pretty good job of figuring out what it's worth. And hey, here's my opinion, and here's the likelihood it's going to sell. Here's how long it will take on average to sell. I can give you a lot of that input. But when it's in a different market, especially if it's in a different state, I'm in the dark, right? I can go on, I can look at different tools, and I can make an educated guess, but it's not going to be nearly as good, nearly as accurate as it would be here in the Treasure Coast. So that's one concern that you have, right? Also, how strong is their agent? They might be priced right, but if they've got their cousin or their sister or someone who's sold 3 houses in their life, they could get the greatest offer in the world, but it'll fall apart often because they don't have the negotiation skills. They don't have the ability to put strong terms in. They don't have the follow-up skills, the experience to know what they need to follow up with to make sure that this thing stays together. So you've got those types of problems, right? Also, how is the home going to show? How is it going to present? Is it dressed up really nicely? It's staged well. It's got modern furniture. Photos are beautiful. Is the agent putting a ton of money into marketing? Are they on the phone prospecting, on the doors knocking, looking for buyers? Or are they just putting it on the MLS and hoping and a praying? You don't know. So that can be really scary, right? Well, when you're a buyer and you're putting in that offer and it's contingent on the sale of your home, that seller has a lot of the same concerns. So how do we alleviate those concerns? And that is where a bridge loan comes in. A lot of times when you present an offer contingent on the sale of your property, one of two things is going to happen, right? Number one, they're going to flat out say, no, we're not interested. And that happens. Or number two, yeah, we'll work with you, but the likelihood that we're going to negotiate, that you're going to get any type of deal on price, that you're going to get any type of deal on literally anything, right? You usually say there's one area you can beat up a seller in. If it's price, your terms better be great. If it's closing date, then everything else better be great, including price. If it's, hey, I want 15 days for inspection, then everything else, including price, better be sharp. There's one area you can beat up. When you start beating up sellers in 2, 3, 4, 5 areas, it gets really tough. So if you come in contingent on sale and I want 25 grand off price, that's a tough offer to sell. You might need to submit quite a few offers. And instead of getting your favorite home, you're going to get your 9th favorite home. Are you okay with that? And there's no right or wrong answer. There's situations for certain people where they would say, yeah, I'd rather have the deal and the contingency and take my 9th favorite home. I'm okay with that. Perfect. As long as it's all spelled out up front and you are aware of that, you're conscious of the fact that that's what's likely to happen. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're saying, no, I want my number one pick, you might need to come in strong on price and you might need to get rid of your sale contingency. Well, how do you do that? How do you do that, right? What you can do if you qualify, you have to qualify, meaning you've got to have the income to be able to do it. You can get 2 mortgages at once, but one is a bridge loan, right? So it's not a normal mortgage. A normal mortgage is going to be a little bit higher. A bridge loan is going to be a little bit cheaper on the monthly, but the expenses, the one-time expenses that are rolled into the loan, usually I've seen them a little bit lower, I've seen them a little bit higher, but usually the fees are a little bit higher than a typical mortgage. What it allows you to do is take out a loan to get the second house called a bridge loan. Okay. And instead of making normal monthly payments like you otherwise would, where you've got principal, interest, taxes, insurance, all those great things, you still got to pay taxes, insurance, and you're still going to pay interest, but you're usually, in fact, I don't know if I've ever seen it. Correct me if I'm wrong, lenders. I've never seen a bridge loan with principal payments. It's always been interest only, right? So what that does, because you don't have that principal, is it reduces the amount of your monthly, and now you've got your normal mortgage plus a smaller payment for that bridge loan. Now that bridge loan might last you 30 days. You get your house sold and then you take that money to pay off the bridge loan. It might take 6 months and then you finally sell your home and you get the money to pay it off. And that's where you being realistic with hopefully a good realtor, someone who really knows the market well, is important. If the realtor comes in and says, hey, your home is worth 475, and you say, great, let's start it at 500, and it's in this type of market where this is not a seller's market, you're going to have a tough time, and you might be sitting paying interest only for several months. That's going to be painful. I'm guessing for some people, maybe it's not. For most people, it's going to be painful. So when you hear, hey, it's 475, you're probably going to want to say, all right, let's list it at 475. Now you're going to get offers. You're going to get a lot of showings. You're going to solidify an offer more than likely, and it's going to be quicker in most cases. And now you're able to move into that second home, right? So I don't want to say you're not able to play the typical game of, hey, let's start high and come down if we need to, but there's more painful consequences through paid interest if you do that, right? Now, another thing that you can do to try to mitigate some of this risk, and not just risk, but the amount of money coming out of your pocket, which I guess is risk, is ask for a 60-day, 90-day closing, right? So you can say, hey, we're going to get a bridge loan. We would prefer not to get a bridge loan. We'd prefer to sell our home first, but we don't want you to have to worry about us being contingent on sale. So we're going to say that we're financed. We're going to say that we're getting a bridge loan, and we absolutely will. That is plan B. Plan A is to get the home sold first, and we're going to price it right. We're going to be very aggressive. Our realtor said it was 475. We're actually going to list it at 470. Our realtor said we didn't have to do a lot to our house, but we're actually doing 3, 4, 5 things because we want to get it sold right away. We want to take that cash and pay for your home with cash. So there's a good chance we'll pay for it in cash. But if not, I want you to feel comfortable knowing we've got a bridge loan as a plan B. For that, we ask to not put the contingency in and to guarantee you a sale. Would it be okay if we did a 60-day close? Would it be okay if we did a 90-day close? Sometimes they're still going to say no. But a lot of times they'll say, we don't really care if we move in 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. It's not a big deal to us. We just want to get out of here sometime in the next 6 months. Okay, cool. Then it's not a big deal to them. For some people, it's going to be a big deal. And then, you're in a position where you might not be able to get that 60 or 90 days. So realize all that. But at the end of the day, you've got a solution that could fit you. Again, you've got to qualify. There are going to be expenses connected to that loan. So if you take out a $400,000 loan, you're not paying back 4. You're paying back 4 plus the monthly interest only payments plus the expenses of taking out that loan, right? And you might say, well, that's crazy. Who would ever pay for that? Somebody who wants the convenience of being able to get that home without worrying about losing it because somebody sees a sale contingency. None of this stuff is have to, right? It's all which works out better for you. And for some people, it's going to be to do a bridge loan. For other people, they're going to want to submit 4, 5, 6, 7 offers and see which one sticks and they're okay getting their 9th favorite home. There's no right or wrong answer. Just know that that's an option. Guys, I appreciate you joining me. Thank you very much. We're here every single Monday at 11 o'clock where we talk about the hottest things in the Port St. Lucie real estate market. If you've got a question or something that you see hot in the market that you'd like me to discuss, feel free to put it in the comments or send me a private DM and I'm happy to do it. Have a great day, guys. Thanks.